Democrats don't have values. I don't know how they're going to get values. Do they go on Wheel of Fortune and say, I'd like to buy a value? Welcome to Doug in Exile. This is where the happy patriots are. We're going to end this lovely Friday night. Shout out to the Quad Club, to my people watching all 4 videos. You guys build me up and you make me happy. You're doing something incredibly positive. This job could be really hard. It could get old really fast. It could be really difficult. Then I read the comments from all of you. I have the best audience in the world. You guys are loving, kind, intelligent, fun. I can't go off enough about you. So I just want you to let you know, I see you and I thank you. But you're going to probably hate my guts when you see this Joy Reid video coming up. She goes completely nuts. It's the most hateful screen I could find. And you guys know I don't like leaving the night on a negative note, so I'm trying to scrape together something positive to cleanse our palate. It's like eating ginger after you eat sushi bites. You got to cleanse the palate. Is referencing sushi to elitist, guys? Am I allowed to like sushi? Look, here's the New York Times. Speaking of elitist, New York Times gives away, guys, this is the entire Democrat plan. Opinion, interesting times. Abolish the Senate, end the Electoral College, and pack the court. Why the left can't win without a new constitution. This is a massive admittance that they have nothing. All they can do is now they're going to try and get their claws out and grab power and pull it in. This will lose because it's not policy. They're not saying we're going to bring new jobs back. We're going to feed the poor. We're going to end racism against blacks. There's all these things they could run on. They cannot find a value, a moral statement, something you want to get behind. They're going to raise taxes. They're going to destroy business. And so this is all power grab. They're going to abolish the Senate. They're going to end the Electoral College. That's something that they've always talked about. And they're going to pack the court. I didn't make this up, by the way. The last two on the Electoral College and pack the court. I mean, James Carville has said they're going to pack the court flat out. He goes, we can't win otherwise. He goes, we're just going to have to pack the court. And he said, we're going to have to do massive gerrymandering across America. Now, this is painful but productive. You're going to hear some bad things. This is going to be hard to get through at first, but she makes our point perfectly. Imagine this is what she's going to try to sell to the black community and to white liberals. And I just want to know, do you think this will work?
Donald Trump, in some ways, people try to say God put him in the White House. I don't believe God is that cruel. But in a way, I'm thinking...
Okay, hold on. Now she's talking theology. I got to already interrupt. Anytime someone brings up the God name, I'm a Christian and I read my Bible. Anyone who says God, he says, I don't think God put Trump in the White House. He's not that corrupt. We're going to correct her on this because I'm going to give you news on JFK and show you how corruption is way worse than anything Trump ever did. And the other thing is, when Biden was the president, I still believed God appoints our leaders. It's just not always for reward. Sometimes he gives us a leader, it's not for a reward. Sometimes he gives us a leader and it's not for punishment. God's not your magic genie, Joy Reid. I can't tell you why God picked Trump. I only tell you that I'm happy, that I agree with him. I'm happy on that one. And I can't tell you why Joe Biden or Barack Obama or Clinton were appointed by God. He did not give me a special message, nor did he give you one. So nice guess. All you do is show that you hate Christians and you hate Trump.
The way you could justify saying that, Donald Trump is the physical embodiment of all of America's sins.
Yeah, I agree completely.
Oh, they both agree. Is Trump the embodiment of America's sins? If America has any sin that I would call America out on, and I don't know this, I'm just guessing, I don't think we fight enough. I don't think we stand up for our families, our loved ones, our country, our neighbor. You're not loving them if you're apathetic about them. I think America is way too uncaring about our neighbors. Not in the South here. We got the volunteer state, volunteering, loving your neighbors, invite them over to dinner. I had 3 buddies over last night, Christian musicians, and we want to build each other up. I think if America has a sin, maybe we're too isolationist. Maybe we are too selfish. Just the whole world is getting more selfish. That happens when you're prosperous. But this lady, she's going to call out, and he agrees, Trump embodies America's sins.
Right? He's sloppy. He's unkempt. Everything about him is false. His hair is...
Hold Hold on. Trump has false hair. Joy Reid, the chat can tell me what you think of Joy Reid saying Trump embodies America's sins because he has false hair. Joy, nice baseball cap.
The pretense of non-baldness. He's old.
The pretense of non-bald. You're bald.
But his followers try to pretend that he looks like Superman. He's a terrible businessman and a failure who gets to fake success because he's white, so banks keep lending him money even.
Now, hold on. That's racism. Or she's claiming there's racism. You know? Okay, I'm going to ask my white audience. Blacks, you could check in too. I like black people. But what do you think? Do you think banks are just, where's my free bank money at? I'm a white guy. Joy Reid, I want the branch. I want to walk into a branch and get my free bank loan because I'm white. Is even my black audience buying that? And to white people out there, if you guys know the location of the bank where I get my white man money, please put it in the chat below. I want to get my white man money.
When he's failing, his father scoops money out of his siblings' inheritance to give him when he fails. He's a up, but he's able to be a success because white America keeps saying, no, that guy is what success looks like.
White America, there she goes again. This woman, I'm sorry, Joy Reid, you're a racist. White America keeps going, this guy's a success. I could show you 100 hours right now of black people saying Trump is a success. It's not white America. How did she see everyone being positive about Trump? More African Americans voting for him than ever before. Asians voting for him than ever before. Hispanics voting for him than ever before. And she sees race. She sees white people. She's hateful.
Like he's only a success on that TV show because when he was at his brokest, he gets hired to be on The Apprentice.
That's called a win when you're out of luck and out of money and you go get the world's most successful show host job on The Apprentice. Joy Reid, that's what you should want for your loser friends that can't catch a break. You want them to go try something else and win and become number one.
Boardroom couldn't even be used on The Apprentice. And I found this out in my first my Trump book because it was so shoddy and unkempt.
You wrote a book? Holy cow.
I went in Trump Tower in the 80s. It was tacky and sad. His marriage is a fraud. Melania clearly won't even touch him. The
Lawsuit. His marriage is a fraud. Melania won't even touch him. She's mad they're not grinding on each other in public. Very unpresidential. And she's classy, Joy. This isn't a parking lot party at the bowling alley.
Last time she let him touch her, they had Barron. Clear that he ain't touching her now.
The last time he touched her, they had Barron. That is terrible. Joy Reid is Barron.
He doesn't believe in marriage. He doesn't have morality. He got 3 baby mamas, 5 children.
He doesn't believe in marriage. He has baby mamas. So the black community should like that, right? The Democrat blacks that are all into the baby mamas. He's got 3 baby mamas. Doesn't that make him, isn't he cool, Joy? Or are you judging baby mamas now in your culture?
Everything about him is a lie. He's not a Christian, but Christians love him.
Now, hold on. He's not a Christian, but Christians love him. She thinks I love him because I think he's a holy man. And that's a lie. I don't know if Trump's a Christian or not. I've heard a lot of things about his theology. I'm fascinated anytime the word God or Christianity comes up. He has made some statements that I oppose. But this is another Democrat lie. I could read you another article that David French just wrote this week against Doug Wilson and against Trump. How evangelicals, they're mad that we like Trump. They're mad that I like Trump. And she thinks the only reason that me, as a Christian, that I like Trump is because I agree with his theology, which I probably don't. I don't even agree with my pastor on all theology. I don't agree with all of you on all theology. But she thinks this is so lazy, and the left keeps doing that. Like, Christians are so suckered by Trump. They've been so deceived by him. They think they're only following because they think he's a holy man. No. I really don't care. He's an amazing president. He's an amazing Biden, who keeps talking about his Catholic faith. For all I know, he's more into scripture and into his Christianity. And I still think it would be a terrible move. I would never vote for Biden. I was talking to my friend last night. If I found out my pastor voted for Democrats, I would not go to his church. I think anyone who would vote for Kamala Harris over Trump, I would not want, because I subject my family to church leadership. to the pastor. I would not become a member of that church and submit myself to a leader who thought that voting for Kamala Harris was a wise life decision.
But he embodies the greed, the shamelessness, the lasciviousness of capitalism.
Remember, she's talking about all of you, all of America. The sins of America are greed and capitalism.
And now also to your main, and I think really important point, the mediocrity. He could never be JFK.
We're going to get into JFK. I'll say Trump could never be JFK, and that's a good thing. I will agree with her on some of the mediocrity. I think some of us are too casual. We're a little too comfortable with the existence of sin. And I'm not talking about in American culture. I'm talking about in my life, me, Joy. Look, I'm not talking about y'all and America's sin. I'm talking about me. And to my Christians out there, I think holy people don't go, the whole world is too sinful. They look at themselves and say, I'm worried more about the sin in my life. I'm too mediocre, both about Christianity, but even in my art. I'm doing a painting over there. I need to fight mediocrity. In my life, too much sin, not enough good, too much bad.
He's not handsome. He's not suave. He's not brave. He was never a war hero like JFK. He has none. Even RFK can never be JFK. None of these people stand up to JFK's legacy.
Okay, let's go to JFK's legacy. I'm done. Now, guys, comes the good part. I've put you through. That's like giving you all a spanking. I'm sorry. If you're still here in the show, you're very brave, and I thank you. Here's your reward. She touts JFK as some amazing guy. Here's the article on JFK was one of the dirtiest, worst presidents. I'm not here to say he didn't do good things, just like Trump. I'm not saying he's not a Christian either, but listen to this. Here's how President Kennedy seduced a White House intern inside the bedroom he shared with Jackie Onassis. Mimi Alford was all of 19 years old when she began working in the White House press office, where she caught the eye of President JFK, and it was all over her. You caught his eye, you were in trouble. She was a wide-eyed White House intern just 4 days into the job when she found herself standing alone next to the most powerful man in the world in the most intimate room at Pennsylvania Avenue. Mimi Alford was 19 years old when she began working on the White House press office in 1962 and caught the eye of JFK, while the 2016 movie Jackie shed new light on how the First Lady created the myth of Camelot. It's a myth, guys, after JFK's assassination. Much curiosity remains about their marriage and what Jackie knew about her husband's alleged marital affairs. There she is, 19 years old, Mimi Alford. Mimi Alford details in her 2012 book, Once Upon a Secret, she was stunned when she received a call from Dave Powers, a close Kennedy aide known officially as the first friend, at the White House. He allegedly invited her for a swim in the White House pool. It didn't matter that she didn't have a swimsuit. There were plenty available to choose from. They had a whole closet of suits to put their not underage, she's 19, but to put their young victims into. Bewildered after diving into the pool with two young female colleagues, Alford was nearly dumbstruck when the commander-in-chief himself walked in a short time later, JFK. Mind if I join you? The president said before heading into the dressing room. Emerging a short time later in swim trunks. Look at the hunky guy. All of America thinks he's the great American hunk. President Kennedy, the great one. He was remarkably fit, flat stomach, toned arms for a 45-year-old man. Well, I'm 59. Let's not talk about my stomach. Alford wrote, detailing how the two exchanged pleasantries while treading water. Later that same day, Alford was back at her desk when Powers called again, this time wondering if she would be interested in an informal get-together upstairs. See, they checked her out when she was in the pool. So did JFK. They brought 3 girls in so he could pick from the very best one with the one he preferred. This is scum. Is this as bad as Trump, Joy Reid? Is this Trump will never be this? She accepted the invitation and was stunned to discover that upstairs meant the family residence, and soon she found herself sipping daiquiris with an intimate group before the president entered the room. Short time later, Kennedy offered her a private tour of the residence, and it was when they were alone in the bedroom he shared with First Lady Jacqueline Kennedy that he made his move. According to Alfred's account, this is a very private room, he told the young Alfred, and slipped a hand on her shoulder. The thing I knew, he was standing in front of me, his face inches away, she recorded in her book. He placed both hands on my shoulders and guided me toward the edge of the bed. A short time later, Alfred lost her virginity to the world-renowned leader, and their trysts continued for more than a year, according to her account of the matter. There she is today. I think he did take advantage. I was so young, Alfred told People, but I liked feeling special. Although Alfred faced criticism for revealing so many personal details in the book, Democrats attacked her for telling you the truth, for being off topic. How dare you attack the victim? That's what Democrats do. Women, this is not a pro-woman party. She also wrote that JFK asked her to give powers, and later his brother, Ted Kennedy, the Lion of the Senate, sexual favors. Alfred told People in 2012 that she had no regrets. He whored her out. JFK did. I couldn't tell the story with those pieces, she said. I know there's some difficult parts of that book, and they were difficult for me to write. The fact is, I was vulnerable, and the president was a very powerful man. This is Democrat power. She said Trump can't be. Trump's never done something like that. We have no record of it. We have an eyewitness account of the victim herself who was attacked by Democrats about what JFK did and whored her out to Ted Kennedy, the Lion of the Senate. I have a friend who was a writer in Hollywood. He used to go and write at the Ted Kennedy summer house. She would go there to a party. And one time he pinned her in a bedroom. Big, fat, old Ted Kennedy was chasing her around the room, begging her, almost crying, begging her for sex with cocaine all around his nose. That's the Lion of the Senate. That's what Democrats say. These people are despicable. Joy Reid, tell the truth. Meanwhile, look, here's a little bit. Here's the universe healing a little bit. Look, it's Putin getting flowers, sending it to the World War II memorial in Alaska, meeting with Trump. Roses. It's a sad Russian funeral hymn, which all Russian songs sound like a sad funeral hymn. Those are the statues of American soldiers and Russian soldiers shaking hands. World War II, guys, everyone believes we would not have won if Russia did not take a huge shot at Germany. So I just wanted to leave on this sacred note. Can you make a deal today, sir?
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, press. 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 Let's go. Thank you, press. Thank you, press. Thank you.
But I have one last little article here, some bombshell news. A reward for you for staying all the way to the end. Hopefully you'll subscribe if you have not yet. Bombshell, DNI, emails expose fraud that sabotaged 2018 Trump-Putin summit. Democrats sabotaged his last summit because Democrats they'd rather have Trump fail than to bring peace. Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard has released 2 emails that are significant not only for their content, but for their timing, coming just 2 days before the Trump-Putin summit in Alaska. The emails reveal that in 2016, the DNI James Clapper, get ready, he's going to get investigated, He's one of the guys that could get in big trouble over this Russia collusion hoax. Pushed the fraudulent narrative that Russia had hijacked the Democrat National Committee, overriding pointed objections from then National Security Agency Chief Admiral Mike Rogers. The timing matters because the very narrative, the claim that Russia had hacked the DNC to help President Trump, was used to sabotage the 2018 Trump-Putin summit in Helsinki. Just 3 days before meeting, Special Counsel Robert Mueller indicted 12 Russian nationals on charges of hacking the DNC. So these are made up, trumped up fake charges by our government against Russia, possibly causing World War III. The indictment was designed to create political chaos. Mueller knew that the 12 Russians were located in Russia and would never stand trial, meaning he would never have to prove the case. The result of the indictments was exactly what Mueller, his team, yet to be identified co-conspirators intended: to sabotage the summit and effectively criminalize diplomacy with Russia. They do not want Trump to succeed today. Democrats will never be able to touch his boots. They're nothing near anything like Trump. They have scummy JFK as their highest, most royal figure, and he is a confirmed awful womanizing, underage whoring out womanizing dirtbag. So was Teddy Kennedy, the Lion of the Senate. The truth is coming out, guys. The good news is I can't tell you if God picked Trump. I can tell you as a Christian, I'm very pleased, very happy that we're lucky enough and blessed enough to have him as our president. Pray for his safety, pray for his success. Pray with me. I wanted to bring you some joy at the very end. Trump's winning. Guys, it could have been so much worse. If you haven't thanked God yet, that's going to be on us. We have to thank God for Trump. I'm Doug in Exile. Subscribe.